Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. Speaking here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. Today's video, I am going through again, continuing my ranking every single Disney animation movie. This time we are at number 45 through number 41 on my list. Still, these are movies that I'm not a big fan of. These aren't ones I go back to all that often. Still kind of towards the last half of my list here. But, I mean, I think there's one here that's definitely a classic that might be a surprise. The other ones I don't think are as well liked, but we'll see here. And so we'll get to it here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well here on a Saturday night. And this is Saturday night when I'm recording this. My internet's out at the moment, so I don't think I'll be able to upload this till tomorrow. It looks like, so you're gonna get it kind of a day ahead. But to me, it's Saturday night. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna to number 45 through number 41 on my list of ranking every Disney animation movie. So number 45, it's a movie from I think the early mid 2000s, and it is Bolt. Bolt, movie that. I don't know, to me, this is kind of a period of Disney that, to me, wasn't making really great movies. I don't know, I forget what you call this part. It's after the Renaissance, before the revival or something like that kind of area. And yeah, this is one I never was a big fan of. I didn't see it in the theater. I think I caught it later on. About a dog named Bolt, I think played by John Travolta. And you have Miley Cyrus, I think, playing the girl that owns the dog. And the dog thinks he's a superhero because he's in a television show where he plays a superhero or a dog that has superpowers like strength and can shoot things out of his eyes, and doesn't realize that he really can't do that in real life, and that he's only doing a TV show. They kind of trick him into thinking that, anyways, and then his girl owner kind of goes missing, and so then he thinks he can go find her. And goes on an adventure, and I think he comes across a cat and also a hamster who's a very big fan of his. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I just don't care for the whole storyline. Watching again before I did this review or did this ranking, I still couldn't get really into the movie. Didn't really. I don't know. It's just something about. It doesn't make much sense that this dog doesn't realize doesn't have superpowers. It's a little bit of a stretch of the imagination for me. To kind of, I mean, besides the dogs talking, obviously, that's a stretch of the imagination. But I don't know. I can go with that. I can't go with that he doesn't understand that he's just a dog. I don't know. It's just the whole. And I feel like we've done those kind of storylines before. I mean, I think it was done better with Toy Story when Buzz Lightyear thinks he's a toy and realizes he's not. So it feels like kind of along that lines, but not as good of a story. And just the characters aren't that memorable, to be honest. The story's not that memorable. Not many laughs. No scenes that I can remember. I mean, I'm thinking top of my head. I can't remember a lot. I remember there's like a big action scene at the end where he saves the girl, I think, in some way. Anyways, the only character I really enjoyed was the hamster that was traveled through the hamster ball thing. I thought that character was kind of funny, but besides that, not much more to this movie for me. So it's here at number 45. Number 44, I know this is the classic movie that I know some people have much higher on the list, but number 44, I have Peter Pan, which came out maybe in the 50s period, the Silver Age period, I believe. I know, in fact, my friend Jacob, Peter Pan's like a top 10 movie for him. I'm not as into this movie, and I loved this movie when I was a kid. I mean, come on, when I was a little boy, yeah, Peter Pan was awesome. He flew and he sword fought pirates. I mean, yeah, come on, great stuff. I think as an adult, I kind of look at it as For me, Peter Pan's a very kind of a jerk, kind of an unlikable character. He's very egotistical, really thinks a lot of himself, and he's really not that nice to Wendy, I don't think, and to Tinkerbell. I don't know. He's not that great of a hero character now I look at him. Classic, I mean, yeah, I mean, the outfit, the flying, you know, and sword fights like that, but I don't know, not real crazy about him. In fact, there's one part where like these mermaids are like gonna kill like Wendy, and he doesn't really do a lot. I don't know, it doesn't seem like he really stands up for Wendy very much during that time. Also, Tinkerbell's kind of a jerk and an unlikable character who, you know, a traitor to the Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, and to Wendy especially, because she's jealous of Wendy because Peter Pan's paying too much attention to Wendy. I guess it's like Tinkerbell's kind of has a crush on Peter Pan or whatever, and so she kind of rats him out to Hook and almost gets them all killed. Of course, you have the famous scene where she almost dies, and she has to, you know, I think you have to believe or something. She comes back alive. Iconic character, but yet not a likable character. I mean, everybody else is fine. Hook is a good villain. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, and Shmi, I like Shmi. The voice acting of that is really good. And Hook, and, you know, trying to get away from the giant alligator. Some good stuff there. You know, songs are okay. You know, He Can Fly, and it's not, I don't think, a great musical. It's okay, but overall, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of this one. Peter Pan at number 44. Number 43, one of the most disappointing movies I've had at the movie theater, and that's Frozen 2. You'll see Frozen's much higher on my list. I'm a big fan of the first movie, Frozen. And when they did Frozen 2, of course, I was very hyped up. You know, I went to the movie theater, saw it pretty much opening weekend. Pretty excited to see this one, see what they can do next with the story. Really love the characters and all that. Anyways, of course, one thing is when I went to the theater, there's, man, a lot of little girls at the theater, and they were so annoying. They talked throughout the movie, you know, and made noises and ran around, and I was like, oh my God, like I'll never go to one of these Disney movies again on opening weekend. Anyways, besides that, I've rewatched the movie again, and I still, man, really disappointed with this one. The music is all right, you know, going back to it. I think I want to say it's like the opening song or so is pretty good song. She has the song I think got nominated for an Oscar that goes whatever, and I mean still good vocal work, and you know, not a bad song. I think my favorite though is the Kristoff being lost in the woods, and he has this whole like 80s music video about being lost in the woods or something like that with his reindeer. That's a pretty good sequence. Olaf doesn't really have a good sequence. He has like one song, but it's not that great. He doesn't really have a lot of laughs. I mean, he has one really funny part, I will admit, where he recaps the whole first movie to these people that you know weren't around in the first movie. That is the funny part. Besides that, Olaf, he was such a great character. I loved Olaf in the first movie. Made me laugh so much. Second movie didn't really make me laugh that much. I'm kind of I don't know, disappointed, like I said. And the overall story I didn't care for. They meet these different elemental stuff like fire and water and earth, and then yeah, Elsa's the snow or the ice or whatever element, and like some elements are nice, some are not. I didn't quite understand what was going on there. And then it seemed to be, and the whole thing is like this whole civilization that's was put under spell in the forest, and they're kind of going to see them, and you know, I don't know. There's almost like this environmentalist, liberal like message I think in there that didn't care for at all. You know, because there are like these, you know, Native American type, you know, characters that are all about the, you know, the land and all that, you know. I don't know, just didn't care for all that. And Elsa is just a really, I'll be honest, kind of a boring character. Anytime the movie was just on Elsa and her storyline, I was bored to tears with her trying to figure out like her, I forget exactly what she was looking for, but I know she was looking for something, looking for the ice spirit or something, or looking for something. Anyways, I much prefer Anna and Kristoff, like their storylines, and Olaf and all that. She's a much funner character. So the movie was better when she was around. When it's just Elsa, just kind of a downer of a character to me. Not very fun at all. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my expectations were too high for this, but even watching it again, it's just, I don't know. It just didn't hit me as much musically. Just not that funny to me. The storyline wasn't that interesting. Yeah, it just didn't really work as a second movie. And I know they're going to do a third movie, and I think maybe a fourth movie. And I'm not that hyped up because they didn't do a very good job with the second movie. So we'll see what they do with that. But big disappointment there. Number 42, this is, I think, about in the 80s. This is Oliver and Company. Yeah, very forgotten movie. In fact, most people probably don't remember this being a movie. I forget it all the time. Like, oh yeah, because I've only seen it maybe a couple times in my life. I didn't see it in the theater, of course, and it's not one that, I don't know, a lot of people talk about or is promoted as much on Disney. A lot of it's because it's just the Oliver twist story, which, I mean, we've seen that story done so many times. This time it's done with the cat is the Oliver, I think, or is it a cat that's Oliver or a dog that's, I guess maybe it's a dog that's Oliver. And he gets in with other dogs, I guess, yeah, it must be a dog because all the other characters are kind of like dogs, and if I remember right. And yeah, so it's kind of a take on the Oliver Twist story with a Disney spin to it. Yeah, the villain's not that memorable. I can't really remember who the villain is. The only good thing is there's like a really good Billy Joel song in this, you know, why should I worry, you know, done by like the main dog character, orphan dog character that takes in Oliver. Yeah, good song. Also, the animation's really not that great. It feels very like, I don't know, like they kind of rushed it or something, or they didn't put a lot into the animation. Because I feel like other anime movies around this time was better animated and looked better on screen. So I don't know, just not a great job by them, I think, animated wise. Like I said, and yeah, so it's just one of those movies that's, I mean, the voice acting is fine. You got some decent voice actors here. And different dog characters, you know, it's fine. I like some of the dog characters, you know, but it's just kind of, yeah, one of those very forgettable movies. Doesn't have a lot to offer to go back to it. So I have 42, Oliver and Company. And the last movie on my list I will talk about is Lady and the Tramp. Another kind of classic movie, I suppose. I don't know if this is done during the 60s or 70s period. You know, again, it's another story I feel like we've done before. You know, you got the lady is this dog that's, you know, kind of lives in a rich person's house. She's very prim and proper. She's not used to being, you know, she's used to be having like a good life, you know, easy life. And then she kind of goes, she gets, I can't remember exactly what even happens, but she goes out and kind of meets like the Tramp, which is a male dog that kind of lives on the streets, you know. So you got the two contrasting, you know, classes, you know, the poor and the rich kind of thing. But they fall in love, of course, as dogs. But yeah, overall story, I feel like we've had better dog stories or cat stories with, I have like, I feel like we have a similar thing with Aristocats, and I think it's a much better movie. I would higher on my list. Also, you know, 101 Dalmatians, you know, is a much better movie that deal with dogs. I don't know. This is just not one that I thought was that interesting overall. Again, I don't think a particularly memorable villain in this movie that I can remember. I say that a lot because I like it. I always say, if I said anything in these movies that you probably heard me say, when it comes to Disney animation, it's like, you know, not only do I need an interesting story, interesting characters, but I need a lot of good comedy. I need a good comedic character, as you'll see in like my favorite Disney movies, and also need a good villain. You know, there's some things like that I need, and that's why a lot of these movies are kind of down on my list. Even though I said Peter Pan does have a good villain, so that's one that's kind of out of the ordinary. But yeah, Lady and Tramp, I don't remember having a really good villain. You have the Siamese cats. Oh my gosh, they're awful. And that's kind of a memorable song. I will say the scene where they go to the Italian restaurant in the back alley and they sing that song and they, you know, do the famous scene where they're slurping up the spaghetti and then their mouths kind of meet like they're kissing. Yeah, great scene. I love that scene. Best scene in the movie, but nothing else really compares to that scene. That's definitely the highlight of the movie. And I don't know, nothing else is really very memorable again. Like I said, I just feel like there's other movies that deal with this kind of storyline a little bit better. You know, we've had these kind of stories of the, you know, the poor and the rich, you know, almost like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing. But anyways, so yeah, Lady and Tramp, number 41. Yeah, and sorry if anybody loves these movies. I don't have them as high, but we'll be getting some good movies before too long that I really enjoy. But that's my list. Feel free to comment. What do you think about these movies? Do you enjoy them? Should they be higher? Love to read all the comments. Besides that, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. Thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all and I hope you have a good weekend.